I'm Nixie and this is NixieTube. It's the first feminist play. The entire story, I'm using story because it's an A to Z situation that's going on with the narrative. It's a realism piece, so that's natural. And it's basically about Nora in her everyday life and the things that she has to deal with and not deal with, and how she is completely submissive to her husband and the small ways that she tries to rebel and then ultimately make a big decision in her life. Reproducing reality, and a phrase that you will hear a lot with realism is a slice of life. So you're basically seeing slices actually, and when it comes to like the story is usually linear. It usually deals with like social relations between characters and also social issues, especially middle class issues for realism. I will touch on like all of this in another video, but just for now, realism is meant to show how people's socio-economic environments influence them. It's like how there are certain situations that they can't control and then how they react to that. So that's an overview of realism. Apart from like the very real setting, the fact that they're actually wearing like full costume, and these costumes are like described and everything. Apart from that, the dialogue shows that it's very true to life. It recognizes a reality, Nora's reality, of now going from a lower middle class standing to a little bit of a higher middle class standing, and how this financial increase influences her decisions and her mindset, things that she does with her husband and stuff like that. There's a lot of symbolism that also comes in with realism, especially in A Doll's House, where Nora, she symbolizes a doll, and I will touch on that next. We see the interiority of the characters through the dialogue and through their actions. For example, Nora, when she's like nervous or when she doesn't know what to do, then she eats macaroons. Throughout the entire play, you can really see how she is submissive towards Torvald, her husband, and how she's also a little bit rebellious. For example, when he tells her not to continue eating macaroons because it'll ruin her teeth, for example, she still eats them secretly. She is completely shaped and formed and molded into what her father and Torvald think the perfect wife is, the perfect woman is. This is my opinion. I feel like she only got children so that she can tick that off the box of housewife. I think ultimately she has a strong personality, but she's had to suppress that the entire time and her entire life. And then at the end of the play, she decides just not to do that anymore. Holledge says, "A Doll's House is a vehicle that allows an infinite variety of cultures to explore the consequences of rupturing a gendered binary that supports and maintains an unequal distribution of social power." That gendered binary really is seen in the Tarantella, because Nora, as a female, she's using this Tarantella to distract her husband from reading a letter. She uses this then to sort of exercise a little bit of control. The reading talks about how this Tarantella, usually it can be, in a lot of cases, it is excluded from the play, but in some cases it is used as a way to showcase the femininity of certain cultures. And this Tarantella, there's no like specific choreography specified in the play, it can be different for every single culture. Every culture can perform this Tarantella the way that they want to. So yeah, and the Tarantella is really Nora's expression of herself, show a little bit of who she really is and not who she's been groomed to be. Bertolt, he's basically, according to Moy, a physical representation of idealism. He has a lot of ambition. He and Nora, they even reenact, sort of fantasizing this idea of being the perfect couple when they are actually not. I feel like if there were a movie to be made about A Doll's House, then it would not be the same. It's theatrical above all else. Through my studies, I've sort of come to the conclusion that you don't know what female is if you don't know what male is, and vice versa. And there are certain characteristics that go with the two, and then there are also certain stereotypes and stuff like that that go with this binary gender system that is in the play. The idea of gender comes in a little bit more with Nora. Throughout the entire play, we really see Nora as she struggles to be seen as more than just a woman, like the hysterical, melodramatic figure that has been in a lot of plays. She's not just reduced to her gender. That's something that Nora strives for. She doesn't want to be limited or reduced to being seen as a woman and a wife and a mother. She wants to be seen as a human being who makes her own decisions and who can choose her own life. If you don't know how the play ends, you can just skip this part. I'll put on the screen how many seconds you can scan through if you don't want like a spoiler. The ending. It is known as the loudest door slam. Nora, she walks out on her entire life up to that point. She abandons her children, she abandons her husband, and she basically says, I'm a human being now, and I want to go out and find myself and find out who I really am. It's a very profound ending to me. I'm not even joking when I'm saying this. It's one of the best endings that I've ever read, in my honest opinion. For me, I was confused but also shocked and also relieved, and I also felt like, you go girl. Like it's very much, it's a feminist play. Maybe not today, but in some cases it is still a big decision to abandon your children, your entire life, and go someplace and start new as a woman. I mean, I wouldn't be able to do that. Maybe it's just because I have a very kind heart, but I wouldn't be able to do that. I'm struggling just having a life in my current environment. But yeah, the ending for me, it's the best part. I'm Nixie, and this was NixieTube.